Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone that just kind of stumbled across this video for some reason. We're seeing some more Zetsubou Sensei. It's midweek, so what better way to downturn everyone's enjoyment? Seeing some Zetsubou Sensei, learning more about everything and nothing simultaneously. It's always a fun time when we're degrading personality traits and the society as a whole. As long as we don't come out of it feeling worse about ourselves. It's a risk we have to take, though. So grab a drink, so that we can begin. Now, I know that this is the last episode of this season. Kind of odd that it ended on episode 13. Also, I can't state just how unnerving that was. How almost just disgusted myself of listening to. Compared to the usual pre-episode recap stuff, at least this one is knowing that no one's actually paying that much attention. Sound like a nightmare. Okay, what, is she being a substitute teacher now? Thankfully, I can translate a bit of that, but why is there no subtitles? I did check just before this episode that they are on, they do work, so I have to pay extra attention. Just a conversation. 4 pages? What, like 4-comma panel? They're talking about manga and creation of them. Of course. Oh, if it's anything with a tail, keep her away from it. That's what we've known about her character for years. When Maria changes her character tone and temperance, so that's when things are odd. Who is that? Now can I get into actual subtitle realm, please? Having to actually try and translate, understand the already difficult concept of conversation in this show, and talk about it is impossible. Not impossible, impossible. It destroys the very concept of possibility. But whenever we do go and see the wider class as a whole, such as, well, I was just going to say it, that guy who is always lacking in presence, and seeing that they constantly make him so that he is somewhat transparent. That is a character trait joke that I don't think I'm going to get tired of. Being somewhat translucent throughout most of schooling. Maybe it's for the best if this is your classmates. Now, I'm sure someone much more wizened than me is going to go through the entirety of that first scene, which I missed because it wasn't translated. What is she leveling? Gotta get the perfect composition. It does seem like a dance or two when you're trying to tell someone else how to translate something's location. It took a week and a half. Oh yeah. Week and a half to get it perfectly level. And it's upside down. That poor dog. I think I heard about this. Didn't know it was water lilies. Yeah. Boss monster. I guess, yeah, the Japanese language is a little easy to do those kind of jokes of displays and orientation compared to English. What was that, Michael Jackson or something? What mistakes are we talking about other than most of my life? Yeah. Right. Ha. So they focus on something else and... What? Focus on something else and missed out quite a big part of the rules. I've done that several times. Tunnel visioned on one aspect and completely ignored others that should have been so obvious. Hmm. Aha. So it's the answer one down over everything. Gotcha. They'd still be wrong? I'm not sure I want to... We'll go into her academics then. I half expected that... Is it just the, yeah, just the finger? Missing the woods for the trees, as after all. That last one would be quite impressive if you managed to make it to the doctor's office. I did have something I wanted to say, but I've completely forgotten by now because of how fast it moves on. What was just removed? Right. I don't think that's a joke that would work in any other context other than Japanese. Why did we just get street racing? It's stuck. The curse is unavoidable. A defective from a nearby country. If you're just going to talk about spelling mistakes and grammatical errors on TV, we'll be here all week. There's a certain news organisation in the UK which I read because it's funny, where like 60% of every article they have has some sort of spelling mistake or grammatical inconsistency in the headline, let alone the rest of the article. But it's not on a keypad or a number pad. How can she handle it? And replaying scenes? Sometimes your mind just blanks things out. Pass over it. You don't need to pick up everything that's wrong. Otherwise, I'd only hear criticism 24/7. I don't get that joke. I thought that was just her character. It's not a mistake. She used to be in a padded room long ago, so yeah, that's why we didn't mention the phone not being there. Everyone is in danger now. What? Oh, it's like a DVD collection. Stack them all next to each other and you get a nice image across all the spines. Huh? Can we all just leave? Yeah, a good breeze to... How? What was that made of to be able to get such height immediately? I mean, even if that is the case, the fact you're just disregarding the sentimentality attached to the old blanket. Let's not mention that. Or is it the same one? Okay, it's the inner casing is what you cared about. Let's not go into what that inner blanket is actually made of or consists of. Don't think we would be happy about the answer to that. I think a lot of people still have items like this. I believe there's a stuffed rabbit thing that I had as a from birth, I think. Don't actually know where it is now. Sure, I would have known if it... It was put in a box when I moved. Still. Just the people you want to have around a blanket. Also, that does seem to have a mind of its own to be able to take flight like that. Well, looks like it's going to be put into the next budget. Oh, great. A conveyor belt line. I'm saying nothing about them being used as the manual labour here. A conveyor belt line of a small sense of security and hug from that blanket, but she only gets a second each time. Just no, not the other countries trying to destabilize the... She worn out by all these blankets? Everyone has to make some sacrifices. Diet supplements? kind of like that doll. It was odd. Ah, yes. Ah, thank God there's people of lesser socio-economic status than myself. What? But now they've put the idea in my head. I mean, there is an element of schadenfreude, I guess, seeing someone else's misfortune, so sure, he's one of those. More of a sardonic outlook. Hmm. Can we have the blanket back? This looks like the high street of my current town. Poorly written company. There's so many shops and whatnot that have shut down, and obviously... Oh no, he's now required to stay with them forever. But yeah, so I like the last two, trying to keep up with the idea of them saying they make him secure, but yeah, thought it would go down. Wait, tail? People feel safe in various ways, I guess. Ha 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 ha. They need to start locking the windows. Well, at least it's not the slang lieutenant or the slang corporal. Yeah, just get used to it. I see. Happy with that, whatever blanket she's got now. How many extra characters do you want them to have to create? It's like Night of the Living Dead, but for side characters. Unless you have an appointment or a security badge. He's behind you the entire time. He takes his job very seriously. But those two didn't even try to cross school boundaries. Who are you again? You know, this kind of reminds me of the current words of the year and all that shit, where my faith in society is just dwindling each and every time. Yes, you can just create your own slang, that's how it works. I see the recession hit hard. Yeah, just dare to be different. Look into the mirror and see what you behold. This is what everyone's fate is if you use modern day slang. I don't know, that sums up the past couple of years, actually. That one's a little long. But no worse than any of the shit we have now. I'm so glad that my mind is stuck in like 2005 internet humor and whatnot. No need to learn all the current era of jargon with... I don't even know where the fuck it comes from. TikTok, probably. Then again, even Twitch trends and chats and memes from a few years back I had no idea about, so I am cementing myself in the old man genre status of myself. This episode, apart from the opening bit which had no subtitles and I had to try and work it out and got spatterings of the conversation but no actual jokes. Well, when do I ever get the jokes in this? But this episode was fairly... Kyoko. Let's just keep laughing at Maria's Japanese. You're creating a new character. It's Kyoko standing out there in the... out the window. Yep, Kyoko. Is it... So that's who it was earlier. By locking your doors and windows and getting some sort of baseball bat. You can become a overly corporate holiday figure as well. Never got to think about his own life and yet has an entire night named after him? Well, that's probably a conversation to have with your partner, but... It doesn't mean that he's above the law. I think we need to add that extra... Yeah, oh... Wow. First off, didn't expect to have a Christmas carol sung to me. Second off, not in Japanese either. Third off, definitely not about Kiyohiko. But it does remind me horribly of every time that I see my my dad. Why is she on a picture frame in the back? At the minute, considering he is a huge fan of Christmas and Christmas songs. A reindeer. I liked that one. Let's Kyohiko Night. Yeah, that's the next slang for 2010. I can die happy. If this doesn't become a new national holiday across the globe, I will be devastated. Oh, thank Christ for that. I mean, oh, I was enjoying that. Sorry, who? Who's it? This is meant to be Zetsubou Sensei, not a Rorschach test. What's this Gorgon figure? Also, why is he drawing like an 80s... Oh, okay, there's the glasses. It's like a 8-year-old's first fantasy map over there on the left. Yeah, that's my sleep paralysis demons over there. I don't think I'm ever going to get tired of Zetsubou Sensei. Other than while I'm watching it. And immediately after. And before I even put it on. Being able to flit between insanity and various jokes and plot points. I've seen him before in several other shows. Some that I've been able to follow a little better. Some which actually I haven't. I'm getting the sense of confusion that I get from Zetsubou Sensei is the same that I got while watching certain episodes of Monogatari. I know that for sure. Where I get lost in conversation. But it's just so entertaining all the way. And I'm glad I've got to watch it all with you, actually. Once again, another season is down. So what then? Knowing that it's coming scarily close to a full series end-off. How am I gonna get through life without my comfort blanket of Zetsubou Sensei every Wednesday? But I do know that the animators are going to be busy if they keep making new characters to throw into the background for one-off jokes. They've probably got a vast library of things for the dog and stork and whatnot. Got those in the back pocket for years to come. But this episode, much like a lot of the others, I really did like the segment which was about focusing on a mistake, ignoring the wider picture. I think that's happened to me probably while watching things like this a few times, but just in general, far too often. And that's why I'm so thankful for everyone in the comments section correcting me on any and all things I may have missed. Not just for the YouTube engagement, which really does help, but just knowing a bit more about the shows that I watch. I've probably learned... I don't know how I'm going to quantify it. A metric butt ton of things about various shows which I may have remained ignorant on otherwise. And I hope that way of learning continues. But I need to run off and I can't. Actually, I'm already late. So, if you enjoyed this episode, let me know. Leave a like and a comment down below. Consider liking the video if you want to help the channel out a little more. Or subscribing to it to not miss out future uploads, because we're all so fervently excited for the next one. Maybe join onto my Discord. But for now, get yourselves a bit of rest so I can see you in the next one.